Hey, A-OK product reviews. It is
Take a look.
box cutter week. Take a look. So, I'm like a kid on Christmas. A-OK product reviews. This is Rich again. All right, guys. I'm like a kid on Christmas. So I've got all these new box cutters that I got in for box cutter week. Just can't leave them alone. I mean, it could be anything. There's just too many things going on here. So I opened up the Mossy Oak 2-piece folding pocket utility knife set. Yeah, I didn't know I got 2 of them. Bonus. Yeah, so look at this little baby. Are you looking? It is small. It's got a stone wash and it's got a pocket clip. A pretty cool thing. The thing with these utility knives is all of them are each under $15, if not under 10 in some cases, except for the Milwaukee Fastback I have coming. It's that's $21. I'm gonna put the price as I talk about these right where I normally do in this region. Right there. And I'm gonna tell you, these are little bad boys. They have liner locks. They have good lockup. Let's do the spine check on this. Who passes? Yeah, it's annoying. I'm sorry. When I first saw this, I thought, does this take a special blade? Because it's so compact and so tight, I thought, is that a smaller blade? And it's not. To release it, there is a very simplistic slide lock. There's a little, not an indent, but a X-dent right here that you push up. And what that is if you know what these blades look like, they have these 2 little grooves. So one groove, when it's back, it gives you just a standard blade. So this goes back in the same place it comes out. And you just push that back up again because that has like a little spring lock. Okay,
What I
so
like
I'm gonna
about
tell you
this
right.
knife.
Okay, my favorite box cutter currently is the Cobalt. All right, Cobalt brand. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of their other stuff. So this is a lockback, foldable pocket clip, but I never fold it. I never pocket clip it. I should probably just take that pocket clip off, but it's attached to the pivot. All right, these sit in my shop and I use them as is. I like them. The one thing I don't like about them is the blade release button right here. It sticks out. Can you see how it sticks out on both sides? When you're cutting, if you happen to grip right there, which that's a common grip point, I'm going to say this as lightly as I possibly can. I can't stand engineers. I love engineering. And I love the whole basis of it. And the concept of engineering being a big deal. You know, because I feel like engineers make things worse. And that's a very broad statement. So let's just... You gotta have test pilots. You gotta make a product. You gotta have somebody there. You've got to have somebody there that isn't an engineer that uses the darn thing. Because you know engineers don't use it. Give it to a warehouse guy. Go to a darn warehouse. Are you telling me the Cobalt manufacturer? Well, it's in China. You know, but like they can't walk it. They've probably got a warehouse right there. Walk down there. Find, okay, if you're in America, find Ted. And go, hey Ted, we just, you know, I gotta do the nerd voice.
Us engineers, we just designed ourselves a really great box cutter knife, Ted, and we want you to try it out.
And then he hands it to Ted. Ted goes, all right, I'll give it a run. And he takes a box, goes to cut it, and he's holding it right there. See how I'm doing this? and he's holding it there, and he unlocks it, and the blade comes out. That happens, guys. It happens a lot. I'm not messing with you. All right. The only poor design on this whole thing. Yeah, you gotta figure that out, guys. You gotta figure out a release that isn't within your hand grip area. Man alive. Yeah, that's me being really aggravated, especially because this is my favorite. Not gonna be my favorite box cutter after all these go through. I gotta guarantee you. Now I'm gonna tell you. If you'll notice this though, it's pretty sleek. It's not super fat. It's not super chunky. So you know I'm leaning towards less chunky box cutters. And I got some chunky box cutters on here, and I'm thinking one of the best ones on here right now is probably this Fat Fiskars thing. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna like that, but it's cool. Okay, so the paperwork on the mossy oak stuff is just them trying to sell more crap. Because I think the mossy oak brand is I remember when mossy oak represented something like, wow, that's cool, it's mossy oak. And then they just decided just to go batshit crazy on Chinese products and slap their logos on it. And now you got like camouflage in pink, mossy oak, Crocs. That's all I think of. But mossy oak did something right, guys. I'm trying to figure out how I'm not going to like this. I like the liner lock. I don't like lockbacks on these. I'm finding out that I don't like my favorite knife. I'm finding out that the one that I thought least possible chance of winning this box cutter week is going to be the first one I open up, the cheapest, because I don't think I paid any more than $10 for this, and I thought I was getting one knife, and I got two. Really, really satisfied with the mossy oak little mini with a box cutter. Because more with a box cutter, you're going down versus up. Another flaw on this. Now maybe these would have been okay if they were on up. I should have been an engineer. I know I should have been an engineer. So I didn't break it into categories. I just went straight just box cutter. Because now I'm going to do a fixed one. And the fixed one I'm going to do is the crafts. Okay. So I got this on Amazon. I got everything on Amazon because I live in the country. And Amazon's my friend because I live in the country. Driving to the store, it's really not that far. You know, the closest Lowe's and Home Depot is probably 14 miles. Okay, guys. So this Craftsman. I'm looking at it right now, and my first feeling on it is it has got a lot out. Now, getting the packaging off of this is kind of tricky, right, so I'm just going to get rough with this stuff. You see it, right? You see the packaging and engineering. Now I'm mad at the packaging. Are you surprised? Oh, it's got a little switch right here, so I'm guessing this is a storage switch. Okay, as you can see, you shouldn't have... none of this stuff should be that complicated. Okay, you got a bunch of extra blades in there. It looks like you got 4. And I don't know if they're extra. Let's just take them. I'm not a big fan of these storage compartments. I guess they'd be great if you're a carpenter or a contractor that worked remote. Because you do want to have that. I get it. All right. So now... Okay, got that out. This is such a weird box cutter, guys. And I think I just need packaging and engineering. I just really don't feel like they even have test. So this little toggle switch is the unlock, and I now I'm liking that because it goes left and right, it doesn't go forward. So when you do get a grip on this and you're cutting, you're not going to release that blade unless you go left or right, and that's kind of like not a hand movement that you'd probably do. So you push this all the way forward, you load the blade in by pushing the toggle over, and now this engages into those little grooves. So there's that. Barrel. Now you take your little hook blade. Look at that thing. I've never used one of these and never needed to. I didn't think. We're gonna find out though. All right, so you put that in there. be careful, guys. These are blades. So I could see that breaking eventually, because nobody makes anything of any quality these days. And even Craftsman, because Craftsman used to just be the best. You got to use 2 hands. You have to use 2 hands, and you got to put your finger down in there, and it's this thing. And all that does is lock itself back up in there. And this is where you put your spare blades that are probably just gonna rattle and make a lot of noise and rust and sit there, and you'll forget you even had them in there. See, I work in a shop, so I can keep my blades on a shelf. I don't have to have them on me all day long. Okay, it feels good in the hand, a little clunky. I like the double barrel, so you don't have to use this hook blade if you don't want, which is primarily a pull blade. You're pulling like a gut hook, a strap cutter. I wouldn't use it for what I do, because I'm just box cutter, get it, pack my stuff. All right, so I would just put a secondary blade in there. So that's kind of nice, and it doesn't let you do both at the same time. It's just one or the other. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I kind of like this, even though it gave me difficulties. But those were brief difficulties, because now I've got it. The grip is kind of rubbery, but not super grippy. It's got like a little lanyard thing, if you want to use a lanyard on a box cutter. I'm sure there's some goober out there that does that. So that's it, guys. I think that's the Craftsman, and unbelievably, so you're going to find out I'm a very practical guy. I don't need all the buttons, I don't need all the whistles, and these are all going to happen. And that's okay, because I still like that stuff. But as far as being out in the shop and working, you know what you might not like about this is, notice this, the blade's not centered on the tool. So your brain's gonna have to get used to that blade being to the left or to the right. Left, right. Yeah. Man, I'm using this today because I got to box up about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got like 10 orders I gotta ship out. Okay, guys, that's the first 2. Box cutter week's getting off to a good start. A very good start, actually, because I thought the mossy oaks were gonna be junk. I didn't know how well the Craftsman was gonna be. It's good. It's gonna be, out of 10 box cutters, it will be in the top. It'll be in the top 10 of 10. I don't know where it's gonna be. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm done. Deuces.